Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you day 3 of Introduction Week. One of the aspects of life that I caught on to very fast was how there are some names, definitions, and pronunciations that some people just can't agree on. Such classics include Caribbean versus Caribbean, who you're talking about when you say Frankenstein, dub versus sub debates, among others. That mentality and a certain franchise that I intend to cover on my channel are what led me to create the terminology of the channel category. I felt the least I can do was give viewers a heads up about how I may go about certain names, definitions, or pronunciations about varying topics. And if you don't agree with me, that's cool. I'm not going to antagonize you if you don't share the same line of thinking as me. I just ask in return that you don't antagonize myself or anyone else who might share the same line of thinking as me. Just because we don't agree on something doesn't mean we can't be civil about it. And my hope is that we can still be civil even if there are disagreements. As for what exactly I feel about this topic, some of it is inspired by a few classes I took, such as language acquisition and voice and diction. In those classes, the professors had taught me and my fellow classmates that there really isn't a right or wrong dialect, and that there isn't really right or wrong pronunciations as a result either. You can have a more standardized dialect or original pronunciations, but it's not really right or wrong, and we shouldn't really antagonize people over how they might say something differently than we might say it. Essentially, they believed that it should be what sounds more natural to the speaker, and that's my same line of thinking. I'll say something a certain way if I feel it sounds more natural to me, and I have no ill will if a different pronunciation sounds more natural to you. Again, we can be civil even if we don't share the same line of thinking. Another inspiration that really gravitated with me was something that Dan Provenmire, the co-creator of Phineas and Ferb, had mentioned before. In response to someone who wasn't happy about Frankenstein referring to the creature in the show's opening theme, Dan Provenmire had brought up a point about how language is fluid and can change and adapt with the times. A word that meant something different when it was originally created can take on a different meaning much later on. And his response to that particular sentiment was that he knows Frankenstein referred to the mad scientist when the book was made, but he also accepts and recognizes that these days people think of the creature when they hear Frankenstein. It also reminded me of how some people made a point of mentioning that the creature thought of himself as the mad scientist's son, figuratively, and said, yeah, you could say that he kind of adopted the name too. And that's kind of how I feel too. Like, yeah, I know the mad scientist was Frankenstein, but I also am cool with the people calling the creature Frankenstein. I know some people don't, and yeah, you don't have to agree. Let's just be nice about it. So that's what you can expect as a heads up about how I might go about certain phrases. And again, you're free to disagree, but let's play nice with each other about it. That's 3 days down and 4 more to go. Take care, and until next time.